you're going into your listings, your transactions, whatever, you have a section in here for party members, where we have different party members for different things. Now, Cody, this one I use as a sample and just assign Cody to pretty much every different party member that I wanted to run tests on and stuff. So, it looks funny because of that, but just realize this. So now, if something that I just added this week was if you use the same stager almost all the time, if you use the same inspector almost all the time, or whatever, some of these that you use quite frequently or a majority of the time, over here on the right-hand side is the little menu, the little ... menu. Once you've got them selected, you can click on that and you can go to type options. Party member type options is what this is. And now you can say, use this contact as the default for that party member type, stager. Make them the default. And then also, if that party member, stager in this case, is also used in the transaction side, you can put them as the default, or I guess, copy it to a new transaction. So if I have the listing and I've specified stager as one of my people, well, whenever I get the transaction, I probably need them to destage it during closing or whatever. So they would probably be a good party member to copy to my new transaction. So this option here turned on. If you have it turned off, then whenever you start a new transaction, it would not copy over the stager. So does that make sense? So you've got the ability to assign stager, this contact, to any of the three. If you've got projects, most people only have listings and transactions, but you can specify who the default is for what party member type. And if you only use them typically during the listing, but whenever you create them and you want them in the transaction, you can do the copy to the transaction. If they're not being used there, then it won't be pulled over by default, as if you selected this. What this will help you do,
that's good.
Yeah, whenever you start a brand new transaction, or listing or whatever, anybody that's a default will be preloaded. So any party member type that you want a default on, it will now default with that contact person. Now, don't set up a default. I'm not sure that I prevent it for seller or buyer.
No.
You wouldn't want to do that. But if there's somebody that you use almost every time for every listing, put them in as a default if you want, and then you don't have to pick them. The problem would be is if you pick them and you don't use them for that particular listing, then you need to delete them and put somebody else in there. Make sense?
Yep.
That's great.
The other thing that this does is whenever you go into your setup screen and go into your menu options, we have this section here for party member types. What this does now is you'll see a couple extra buttons here, of which let me just go to stager here. You'll see for stager that it's colored, it's in green, or basically that this is a default for new listings. And then it also does the copy to the party member. But just clicking on it takes you to the option to set the default for whichever section that you want it in, or make it copy from the listing to the transaction. So there's some extra pieces there. If you copy it to your clipboard, that information is saved as well. So